Hi, Sienna. Here is just me going through the rest of your paper 2 uh, from question 12. So, first thing, question 12, a force of 196 newtons, let's maybe highlight that, 196 newtons, is applied to a square surface with side 4.9 centimeters. By writing each number correct to one significant figure, work out an estimate of the pressure being applied to the square surface. Come to our formula. Pressure is equal to force divided by area. We've already got the force, right? 196 newtons. Now we need the area. How are we going to find the area? So we know the square has a side length of 4.9 centimeters. We know the property of a square. It's a very badly drawn square, forgive me. It's actually a terrible square, holy moly. Okay, there's a good square. If one side is 4.9 centimeters, all sides are 4.9 centimeters, aren't they? Because squares have equal sides. So how do you find the area of a square if you've got the side? It's length squared, which is 4.9 squared, which is equal to 24.01. So you're not allowed to do this with a calculator. You have your own methods of doing arithmetic. This is just how I did it. I did 49 times 49 divided by 100 because I moved the comma up 2 spaces. So you just divide your answer by 100 to get 24.01. But if you've got your own method to do that, don't stress about mine. And then we know our pressure is just force force divided by area, 196, which we have, 24.01, which you just worked out. We get 8.2 newtons per centimeter squared. Perfect. We did have a chat about this question in our lesson already, so I'm just going to leave that one for now. This one you did great. We did do this one in class, but in our lesson, but I'm just going to talk you through the process again quickly. So we know Wednesday took 9 minutes, right? Because they've given us that. Wednesday is equal to 50% of Tuesday's time because it took 50% less time on Wednesday than Tuesday. So we had 100% of Tuesday minus 50% equals 50%. Okay. Then Tuesday is equal to 90% of Monday because on Tuesday it took 10% less than Monday. So Tuesday's time is 100 minus 10% equals 90% of the time on Monday. So now let's come back to our Wednesday and Tuesday. Let's see if we could figure out Tuesday's time. 9 minutes is equal to 50% of Tuesday, right? Happy. So if 9 is equal to 50% of Tuesday, then 18 is equal to Tuesday. Because 18 times 50% equal to 9. So we're happy with that, happy with that. Now we can forget about this bit. Tuesday is 90% of Monday. Tuesday is equal to 90% of Monday. Took 18 minutes on Tuesday. 90% of Monday is equal to 90% of Monday. We divide by 90%. And then we get 20 minutes is Monday. We could test it. 20 times 90% is equal to 18. Because remember, 90% is the same as 0.9, is the same as 9 over 10. Happy. Now, we need to, ooh, why is my iPad freezing? Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I don't know why my iPad is frozen. That's working. That's working. There we go. Sorry. Okay. Happy with that question. Now, this question gives us two vectors and it asks us to work out the length of vector PR. We don't actually have PR. So how do we find PR? PR is equal to PQ plus QR. So it's 3 minus 1 plus 1 over 9 gives us 4 over 8. Now I could see what you did here is close to being correct. What is the formula for the length? So the magnitude of our vector PR is equal to x squared plus y squared square rooted, 4 squared plus 9 squared, 16 plus 64 equals is equal to 80 square root of 80. 80 is the same as 16 times 5, 4 root 5. There's our answer. Happiness. Okay. Now we have to find the perimeter of the sector. So we are looking for this area here. Oop, not the area, the perimeter. Looking for that. So how are we going to do that? First, they tell us the area of the sector is 15 centimeters squared, 15 pi centimeters squared. 15 pi equals area of sector. Area of sector. Okay. So what's the formula for the area of the sector? Area is equal to a half times theta times r squared. We know what r is. R is 6, right? So, and we know what area is. So 15 pi is equal to a half times theta times 6 squared. And we solve it. A half times 6 squared is 18. So 15 pi over 18 is equal to theta. Now, you might be wondering what theta is. Theta is this angle here, right? This angle, because they gave us the area of this shape. They give us the area of the sector, right? They gave us this. And it's based off this angle right here, which we've just worked out. Now, we're nearly done. To work out this area here, let me actually scribble it like. To work out this area here, that's the arc length, isn't it? The formula for arc length is just equal to pi times r. We know what pi is, theta times r, sorry. We know what theta is, 15 pi over 18 times 6, which simplifies to, so the 6 cancels with the 18, so we get 15 pi over 3, which is the same as 5 pi, right? Brilliant. 5 pi. But now we have the area of the squiggle. We also need the area of this, don't we? The perimeter, sorry. We have the perimeter of this outside bit, but now we need the perimeter of the flat pieces, the straight lines, which is just 6 and 6, because these are two radii. So our answer is 5 pi plus 6 is equal to 5 pi plus 12. We come to our answer. We need our answer in the form a plus b pi. Close. Just change it around. 12 plus 5 pi. Let's get rid of that. Boop. 12 plus 5 pi. Brilliant. So all we needed to do was find this angle, theta, which we could get from the area they gave us, and then needed to get the perimeter of the, I'm just going to call it the curved line. So this is called the arc length. So we worked out the arc length and then just added the two radii to get the perimeter of the shape. This question here, I'm going to go over with you in our next lesson. So this will be a test if you watch the video. You must remind me that we must go through this question. Okay. So we did also have a chat about question 18 here, where you write it in the form ax minus a squared minus b. Turning point is the coordinates a and b. Then we spoke about this graph. It should have been a happy graph with the coordinates minus 6, 4. So the turning point should have been somewhere like here, 4 minus 6. Because here's our a, 4, and then minus 6 to get the 4 minus b. Because you have plus b here, you have plus 6 here, right? Therefore, it was minus 6. Therefore, the y value is minus 6. Happy. Okay. Next thing, a gradient p, the point p lies on the graph y is equal to x squared minus 8 plus 10. Same as what we have above. The gradient of the graph at P is 0.6. Find the coordinates of P. Okay, so how do we get the gradient of a graph at a point? The gradient is equal to the derivative at the point. So we're going to take the derivative of y. Y prime is equal to 2x minus 8. Because we do the power rule, bring it down the 2 minus 1, bring down the 1 minus 1. So x to the 1 minus 1 is equal to x to the 0, which is equal to 1. So all we're left with is the minus 8. So this is our derivative. So now we know the gradient is equal to 6. So let's sub it in. 6 is equal to 2x minus 8. 14 is equal to 2x. X is equal to 7. So now we have the x coordinate, 7, right? But now how do we get the y coordinate? We don't sub this back into here. We sub the 7 back into our original equation. So we've got 7 squared minus 8 times 7 plus 10 is equal to, okay, I'm sure you could do the arithmetic. I'm going to cheat a bit and use my calculator. So I'm a bit lazy. 3. So the coordinate is 7, 3. Okay. Please let me know if you haven't done this differentiation, you don't understand what concepts I'm doing, because these are very, very important. Okay, simplify root 75 minus root 3. Okay, so this is surds, right? We worked through this in our lesson, but I'm sure you're able to do this question now, but let's just have a quick chat. So root 75 is the same as 25 times 3. So that's just the same as 5 root 3. So 5 root 3 minus root 3 is equal to 4 root 3. There's our answer, 4 root 3. So when you have to work with surds like this, always come to your bigger, like if your smaller number isn't a perfect square, like if this was a 4, we know that's a 2, but it's not. So now look at our bigger number. What factors of the bigger number are perfect squares? So it's definitely not 4 because it's not an even number. It could be 3, but 3 is maybe a little bit tough to, because 3 goes in 25 times, so it's a bit tough. Sorry. Check 4. Okay, 4 doesn't go in there. Check 9. 9 doesn't look like it's going to go in there. 16 also can't be because this is an odd number. But we know 25 can go in there. 25 times 3. We square root that. 25 is a perfect square, so we just get 5 root 3 minus root 3 to get 4 root 3. Okay? Rationalize the denominator and simplify. We also did this in our lesson, but I'll just show you. Remember, we do the conjugate, so 1 plus root 5 over 1 plus root 5, because this is 1 over 1, right? You're just basically timesing by 1. Now we do the denominator quickly. 1 times 1 is 1, and then we know the plus root 5 and minus root 5 are going to cancel, so we're not going to worry about that. And then we've got minus root 5 squared, which we know is just minus 5. Then at the top, we've got 8 plus 8 root 5. We're left with 8 plus 8 root 5 over minus 4. Now we always have to simplify. Let's take out 4 as a common factor. So at the top, we take out a 4 as a common factor. 2 plus 2 root 5, because if we multiply this back in, 4 times 2 gets us back to 8. 4 times 2 times 4 times 2 root 5 gets us back to 8 root 5 over minus 4. These cancel. Then we're left with negative 2 plus 2 root 5 is equal to negative 2 minus 2 root 5. I'm just going to plug this into my, because you can't use a calculator, but I'm going to plug it into my calculator just to make sure I haven't told you lies. Yes, minus 2 root 5. Brilliant. Okay. This looks like it was wrong, so I'm just going to go through it quickly. So let's just take a step by step. 2x minus 3, x plus 1, 2 minus 3x. Now let's just deal with the first bit. 2 times x, we get 2x squared plus 2x minus 3x minus 3 times 2 minus 3x. Okay, I would suggest we clean this up quickly. So we've got 2x squared minus x minus 3 times 2 minus 3x. Now we multiply it again. Boop. 4x squared minus 6x cubed minus 2x plus 3x squared minus 6. So that's where minus 6 comes from. Plus 9x. Now we just collect like terms. Are there any other x cubed? No. Minus 6x cubed. Cancel. Okay, we get rid of that. 4x squared, we've got 4x squared plus 3x squared. So you've got plus 7x squared. 2, we've got minus 2x plus 9x plus 7x minus 7x minus 6. Cool. Okay. So see how many more questions we have. Question 21. Sorry, I just want to check this. Okay. The diagram shows two right-angled triangles, ABC and ACD. So we've got ABC, we've got this triangle. And let's do another color, ACD. We have another triangle, ACD. Okay, and notice where the right angles are, because that's very important. Okay, the diagram shows two right angle triangles, ABC, ACD. Find the value of cos ADC. Okay, so cos, so I'd like to do SOHCAHTOA, so sine is opposite over hypotenuse, c adjacent over hypotenuse. So let's go to our triangle ABC, just to like visualize what we have to do. So we've got ADC or ACD or whatever. Okay, so cos is adjacent, so we need this value over hypotenuse, which is this value here. So we know cos ADC, no, I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. Forget about the last bit I said. ADC, so they probably want the angle here. They should tell you the angle because you don't know if it's this angle or that angle, but I think it's going to be the angle at the top because the middle is usually where you want. Sorry. Okay. So adjacent over hypotenuse, right? So we know cos ADC is equal to 9 because that's our adjacent over our hypotenuse, which is length AD. But we don't know what length AD is. So that's what we're going to need to find out, aren't we? Perfect. Okay. So first thing to notice, and I see you drew it here, this is 60 degrees, right? Perfect. So to find AD, if we could find AC, we could use Pythagoras to find AD, can't we? So now let's see if there's a way we can find AC. Let's think about, we know this length, but we don't know this length. So what We could use cos again, can't we? Because cos of 60 is 6 over AC. So cos 60 is equal to 6 over AC. Therefore, AC is equal to 6 over cos of 60. Cos of 60 is a value that you should know, like it's called a special angle. Cos of 60 we know is your, I promise you I know, I'm just trying to remember my special angles. Cos of 60 is a half, right? So therefore AC is equal to 6 divided by a half, which is 12. So we know this length is 12. And now we're nearly done. Just move this here. We know that's A of AD. Okay. Now, to find AD, we just use Pythagoras, right? 9 squared plus 12 squared is equal to C squared, or AD squared. AD squared. Because we know with Pythagoras, it's A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. C squared is always your hypotenuse, so we know this is what we want. So that's our C, that's our A, that's our B. So 9 squared plus 12 squared, 81 plus 144 is equal to, I think, 225 is equal to 225. And the square root of 225 is 15. So AD squared is equal to 225. Therefore, AD is equal to 15. Now we know cos ADC is equal to, what did we say? 9 over AD. So 9 over 15. This simplifies to 3 over 5. 3 over 5. 3 over 5. Perfect. Next question. In this question, all lengths are given as centimeters. Note not to scale. So we can't just whip out our calculator. Okay. Triangle ABC is mathematically similar to ADE. So we know this big triangle is mathematically similar to the small triangle. So what does mathematically similar mean? All angles are equal. All angles are equal. And all sides are in proportion. Sorry, just thinking. So now this question says, show that 2x squared, just going to write it out so it's clearer, plus 15x minus 50 is equal to 0 for 3 marks. Now let's think how we are going to work this out. Sorry for the long pause. I just have to think about this question a bit. I'll tell you what, I'll come back to this question in like 2 seconds. I'm just going to do the ones I know I can do straight away. So we come to the Venn diagram. So sorry about that. Sorry for the long pause. In the diagram, shade the region P or not Q or not R. So union, right? Union, union. Okay. So now let's make life easier. I'm going to just color in what you did just so we could do it from scratch. So it's 4 millimeters. I'm just going to make it this one now. What? Okay, so we know that's R. So I'm just doing this so it's easier. So I could basically start from square one. So that was wait, that was P. So this must be Q. Let's continue filling this out. Okay, so just take it step by step. Let me just change this back. 4. No, that's not what I want. 4. Okay, so let's just take it step by step. So we want the read because it's union, right? So it's the whole of P, the whole of not Q, and the whole of not R. So what's P? P is this whole area, right? So we can color that in. What is not Q? Not Q is all of this. Not Q is the whole of anything that's not Q. So that includes not Q and not R. Let's choose a different color. Not R is all of that. All of this. Anything that's not R. So we see every bit has been colored in except this bit here. So this is the only bit you leave untouched for this Venn diagram question. Now let's give this next question a shot. Rearrange the formula to make P the subject. So we want P here to be the subject, okay? Once again, I'm quickly just gonna, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna paste a sticky note and then have the sticky note cover your writing and then I'll write over the sticky. Oh my word. Okay, cool. So we've got, oh, need to see the equation, don't we? That would help. D is equal to 2p plus 3 over 2 minus py. So we need to get it in the form p equals something, okay? So let's just start off easy. We go d 2 minus py is equal to 2p plus 3. See what I did there? I times both sides by 2 minus py, okay? Now I multiply the d in. Got 2d minus 2 minus 2py is equal to 2d minus dpy is equal to 2p plus 3. Perfect. Now let's get all the p's to one side and all the d's to the other side. So let's bring the p there, And then everything that's not p, let's get it to the other side. So then we're going to have 2d minus 3 is equal to 2p plus dpy. Now we're nearly done. Let's pull out d as a common factor on the right-hand side. We've got 2d minus 3 is equal to p, 2 plus dy. Now we just finish it off. We just divide both sides by 2 plus dy. So it cancels there. So we get 2d over 2 plus dy is equal to p. All done. Okay, simplify. Remember I said in our lesson, so 2xy to the power 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So remember this distributes in. So we get 2 to the 0 times x to the 0 times y to the 0 equals 1. Because it's 1 times 1 times 1. The answer is 1, not times x. Just 1. Okay. Now, we've got 81 m to the 8 over 3 m squared. Over 2 over 3. Okay, so we're going to simplify. So it obviously means that the 3 is going to cancel somewhere. So 81 is the same as 9 squared, right? Which is the same as 3 squared, which is 3 to the 4. So we could simplify this, 3 to the 4 over 3 times m to the 8 over m squared to the power 2 over 3. Now before we deal with this bit, let's just deal with what we've got inside. That cancels with that, so we get 3 to the power 3. That cancels with that, times m to the power 6 times 2 over 3. Now we multiply that in. 3 to the power 3 times 2 over 3, that cancels, so we get, okay, well, we'll work that out, times m times 6 times 2 over 3. Cancel, so we're left with 2 times 2. So we get 3 squared times m to the power 4, which is just equal to 9 times m to the power 4. Happy. Okay, now we need to find the value of x. Sounds like it's going to be a bit tough. Okay, so we've got 32x times 2 times x plus 3 times 2 to the power x plus 3 is equal to 1 over 4. Okay, so first thing I notice is let me split this up. So 32 is the same as 16 times 2, we agree. 16x times 2x is equal to 32x. That's a lie. Sorry, I was speaking nonsense. 32, we realize, is 2 to the power of what? It's 2 to the power of 5, isn't it? You could check in your calculator. 2 to the power of 5 is 32. So we could have 32 here as 2 to the power 5 to the power x times 2 to the x times 2 to the 3, because we know 2 to the x times 2 to the 3 is equal to 2 to the x plus 3, is equal to 1 over 4. And 1 over 4 is the same as 2 squared. So that's just the same as 2 to the minus 2, isn't it? We simplify, we've got 2 times 5x times 2x times 2 times 3 is equal to 2 to the power minus 2. Now let's put this all together. 5x plus x plus 3, get 2 to the 6x plus 3 is equal to 2 to the minus 2. Now we're basically finished. We equate, because the bases are the same, right? It's 2, 2. So therefore, if these are equal, then 6x plus 3 must equal minus 2. Now we solve. 6x is equal to minus 5. X is equal to minus 5 over 6. Minus 5 over 6. Oh wait, we're supposed to write it up here. Boop. Minus 5/6. And we could test it. Let's put in our calculator. 32 to the power minus 5/6 times 2 to the power minus 5/6 plus 3 is equal to 1/4. I just checked in my calculator. Happy. Minus 5/6. Okay. I'm going to send you a separate video how to do this question because I don't want to sit here and make you watch me like just think through this question. I'm not sure why I'm not able to do it straight away, but I'll definitely get it to you as soon as possible.